Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to FabScraps project number 6. Today you've had 3 video projects and you've been spoilt for choice. The first one was the overview to look at the collection all aboard. The second was how to make the shadow box frame for this project that we're going to do. And it was just a basic how-to of how to make a simple frame to decorate and to make your project stand out. So this is our main project for today, FabScraps number 6 with me, and it's using the All Aboard collection, and we're going to make a gorgeous scrapbook page that will sit nicely in our shadow box frame that we're going to decorate. Now please feel free to comment on YouTube. You can always comment on Facebook as well. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can check my blog. There's lots of photos on my blog and lots of other projects as well, so please be sure to check that out. I do love hearing from you and I love hearing what you've got to say. I love hearing your views as well, whether you enjoy the projects or whether there's something that you'd like to see. Please bear in mind for when I do the Anna Griffin projects, I can only do the projects that are items that have been available in the UK. So there's a lot of items that you have across the pond that we don't have. Talking of which, for anybody that's looking to own the FabScraps collections, please contact them directly. There's always the details on my blog and underneath on YouTube in the description box that will tell you the actual FabScraps website, and just contact them by email and ask them where their nearest stockist is to where you live. So let's have a look at our project today. So this is the base of our shadow frame box. This is what we're going to decorate. We're going to make a gorgeous scrapbooking page to put in the middle, and we're going to decorate the outside so it will be unrecognisable when we finish. Even though, you know, it's quite a simplistic method of making a shadow box frame to display your cards and your scrapbooking pages. Once you decorate it, it won't look simplistic. And what a great keepsake. So the first thing I want to do is show you my photos, because I've taken 2 of probably the worst photos that we're going to use. But I want to prove to you they don't have to be the world's greatest photos. These were taken on my birthday a couple of years ago, and we went for a walk on the seafront. It was incredibly cold and incredibly windy and very out of season for September. It should have been quite kind of warm, but it wasn't. So the first one is just a view looking out to sea, and the second is me and my hubby, and we're looking very windblown and just, I won't say not happy, but you know, it was cold and kind of miserable. You know, I was ready for my cream tea, so because that's where we went on to have. So the 2 world's worst photos, but we're going to make them look great because we're going to display them, and after all, it's a memory, and that's what it's all about, is treasuring our memories to show off, whether it's just to ourselves to keep forever or to give for a keepsake. So everything I use is from the FabScraps All Aboard range collection. You'll have seen today we've got 3 videos. One of them is the overview. Now I haven't got the entire collection, but the most important thing is the papers, and that's what I've shown you. We are using 1 extra item. Now this is a stencil and it goes with collection C82. However, it works so well with this collection. These are the 2 stencils that were available for the C82. We're using the scallop one, and what I've done is I've taken a piece of the 8x8 cardstock in the double-sided collection that we saw on the video, and I've simply used some white stencil paste, just laid the stencil over the cardstock, added the white paste, and then peeled the stencil away. I've only done it in 2 areas just to give it a little bit more interest rather than having a plain background. I've got my base on 3D foam. Now there's no particular reason before you write in and ask me why I'm using black. It's just I didn't have enough of the white, and I didn't have 3 hours to peel the backs off the little white stickers for such a large size. So, and I want that to sit in the centre. Now I'm going to move this so I can see. Just for 30 seconds, not even that. Sorry, I can't see downwards, you see. So that's the base of our box. And we're going to make a great scrapbook page for this. Now in the collection, there's some beer board. This is one of the pieces of beer board. I've inked it with red ink and then I've clear embossed it to give it a shine. Got 3D foam on the back of it, and I'm going to simply drop this over our cardstock that's in our shadow frame to make kind of like a frame in a frame. I'm just going to turn it round to make sure I've got it in the right place so that I can see. There we go. Nearly straight. That's the only thing with showing a shadow frame, that I can't stand up and look over it. So if I get it straight, it will be a miracle. Okay, so that's our next layer. Next, I've taken the postcard from the Sail Away With Me sheet. I've cut it out. Let's not forget they're all double-sided. I've got flat tape on the back of it, and I'm just going to mat and layer it onto some of the red cardstock that's in the 8x8 plain cardstock collection that complements the actual collection itself. On the back, I've got flat tape, and I'm simply going to add this just to the top of our box on an angle. Now you see how we're only seeing a little bit of the stencil behind, and that was sort of what I was thinking. I had that on my mind to do that. Now I've taken the actual seagull and the life belt from one of the sheets. I've cut it out. I've got 3D foam on the back, and I'm going to position it just to the bottom of our frame. I'm slotting one section under and one section over, like so. And you can see how it's building already, and the 3D foam gives it the height to give it the layers and the shadows. Now I've got one of my photos ready. I'll just pop that there for now. Matting and layering your photos. I've trimmed my photo down, and I've taken 3 different cardstocks from the 8x8 collection. I've got flat tape on each of the layers, and then each of the layers are just a tiny little bit bigger than the photo itself. So we start with the pink, and then we go to the grey, and it gives it, well, you know, it gives it a good mount, and the colours are just stunning to go with everything that we're going to put in our shadow box. One thing I did think of yesterday, which was kind of cool, and I haven't had time to do it, I could have gone down to the sand and got a little pot and got some sand and put it in, and a little jar at the side. That would have been good, because it's big enough to be able to do that. So this photo is going to go to this edge, and it's going to cover over the edge of our railings that we've cut out. And I'm just going to pop that roughly there. There we go. So it's half in and half out. Our second photo is going to go just roughly about there. Again, half in, half out. So you can see our stenciling underneath. There's the little seagull that's covering half of the photo, and it's just building it up together. I've got a 3D anchor. Now this was beer board. Again, I've inked it in gold and then I've heat embossed it, and I've added some string just around the top, and I'm just going to add that to one side of the photo. I've also taken one of the sentiments that there was on the beer board. I've inked it in navy blue. Oh, look at the shine there. I've inked it in navy blue, and then I've heat embossed it with clear heat embossing powder. I've used just an old die to make a little frame for it to sit on, a mat and layer I should say, rather than a frame. And I've got double-sided tape on the back of it. Now, normally I would show you how I've put that on, but I'm just saving time really. So, and I've just added 3D foam and a little bit of glue to add that together. And I'm going to pop that, I think, roughly there. Now I'm being indecisive because I know I've got some other little bits to put in here. I think we'll put that there. There we go. I don't want to cover the postcards or the photos too much. Now next what I've done is I've made some flowers. I've made some rolled roses from the actual cardstock. I've die cut some ferns from an old die that I had, and then I've used some dried flowers and I've put them all together. I've got some palm punches for the leaves, and I've got this on 3D foam. So it's just a collection of flowers, and I'm going to add these just in one corner like so. And then I've done the same again, just a smaller collection, and I'm going to add this just to one side of our sentiment like that. There we go. And the final little flower is just a single rolled rose that I think would look kind of cool there. So that's, in theory, our page made in the middle. However, I want to decorate this and I want to bring it to life even more. I've taken 2 strips of paper, and this is from the Shipwrecked sheet. Let's have a look. 2 sheets there. I've cut them slightly smaller than the length of the shadow frame, and I've got double-sided tape on the back of them. I can peel the back of it away. Now, they're actually not going to go right to the top or right to the bottom because I've measured it out, and what I've got for the top and the bottom will cover the edge of them. So we'll do the same with the other side. I've not inked these or anything. I've just simply trimmed it to 3/4 of an inch, so that it still leaves a little gap either side. Now for the top, I've taken one of the strips. It says Water Fun, and that's from the Sail Away With Me sheet of cardstock. Again, I've got double-sided tape on the back, and I'm simply going to position this over the top of the top of the layers, should we say. There we go. And press that down, just on double-sided tape. Now for the bottom of the box, I've taken one of the life belt borders. I've cut it out using my Mr. Snips fussy cutting at the top. You don't have to if you don't want. And I've added some string behind the actual design at the top, near the rope of the bridge, of of the railings. So I've got double-sided tape on the back of this, and I'm simply going to add it at the bottom. Now I'm just folding the tape over because it was wider than the bottom of the design, so I can just fold that over. There we go. And this, I think, will just bring it all together. Look how cool that is. I love that paper. The collection is so pretty. And that finishes our shadow box frame scrapbooking page from the All Aboard collection. Look how cool that border is. Do you know, I never fail to get excited, I really don't. I'm too excitable, my husband says. It just all works together so well. I love it. You shall see that displayed soon behind me. Oh, I do get excited about finished projects. I hope you do too. This is today's finished project, and it just looks so gorgeous. When I put a project together and I think, oh, this is going to match this and this is going to go with this, when we get to the end and it all goes together and it just looks so good, and I think, yes, it did work, and it's kind of like a sigh of relief. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please check the blog for lots more photos of today's project. I hope it's given you some ideas and inspiration of things that you can make not only for yourself but for your friends as well. Not having to buy lots of other items as well, because you can use what you have in your stash. The shadow box is a nice simple idea for you to decorate with whatever you already have in your stash. Give it a go, let me know what you think. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.